Welcome to another edition of Against the Grain Sports Podcast, Uncut. And I'm your host, Jody Coleman, in the building. We joined today with my man, Jarrell, Solo on Sports Glenn, all the way from San Antonio, Texas. What's going on, my guy?
How you doing, big dog? What's going on up there in Ohio?
Listen, man, it's starting to get real football like up here, man. We started to get our high school kids in the scrimmages. We starting to get we got the NFL just had their first preseason game that actually was quite entertaining for a first game. We saw some guys like Carson Beck and Haynes King that we saw on the collegiate level. So, man, I'm just excited to be here, man. We got a lot of stuff. Hall of Fame. It feels kind of weird I ain't up there for the first time in 5 years, but it is what it is, man. Talk to me, so.
Yeah, you said the football season already. I'm pretty sure you guys, the leaves are starting to change up there already. The leaves are changing here because they're falling off the trees because it's so fucking hot down here. They're just turning brown and dying. And so it's like 100 degrees every single day. But I am definitely looking forward to some real football. The preseason game was pretty cool there, and I watched a little bit of it. But I'm looking forward to some real football here in the next couple of weeks, man. I can't wait.
Man, and no doubt, man. We got my man King Minks in the building. He said, my guys against the grain sports, real dudes. Yes, sir. All the way from Memphis, Tennessee. He's getting ready for his Memphis Tigers to get going.
They still play football down there in Memphis?
Well, I didn't say that. Y'all heard it. I did not say
that. Hey, King Minks, what conference are you guys in? Are you guys in?
Listen, man, you're not going to.
They play the SWAC. Where they play? Where do they play? The SWV?
He said he played with Sisters with Voices League. You said he played with the Sisters with Voices League. Like, okay, all right. Are they in there with In Vogue? Are they in there with TLC? Like, I'm confused. Like, I don't know. I'm just saying.
Hey, what was that group, Jody, that had T.I.'s wife in it? What was that little group called?
Are you talking about Escape?
Yeah, are they in the Escape League? What league are they in? Can you talk to me, big dog?
Yo, he said that, hey, brothers, I have a meeting with some investors, but Kawhi has his uncle and the Clippers have under the table deals. We'll talk about him, what the punishment should be for those guys at the end of the show. But yeah, so, man, let's get right into it, man. You talked about the preseason game, man. Preseason football is here. It was the Arizona Cardinals against the Carolina Panthers. We know that none of the starting quarterbacks started, or we think, because the way that Carson Beck played and the way that Jacoby Brissett is a stopgap quarterback, can we potentially see Carson Beck week one for the Arizona Cardinals behind the center?
Well, they're about the same age. I mean, Carson Beck played 10 years of college football. Yeah, Jacoby Brissett, he's been in the league for quite some time. It seems like Carson Beck's 30. I mean, he's probably not. But he seems like he's 30. He plays so much college football, so he has a lot of experience. You put him out there against some third stringers and some guys that might not make the roster. He looked outstanding the other night. He does have the veteran leadership already as a rookie. And like you said, Jacoby Brissett is a journeyman quarterback. He finally got his 1-year deal. That's all he got, Joe. He got a 1-year deal. So the Cardinals don't owe him much and nothing after this year. So Carson Beck taking that job from week one, it wouldn't shock me at all.
The reason why I even brought up Carson, and I know we talked about the first preseason game, and you talked about he's going against guys that's probably going to be selling auto insurance in a couple of weeks. No disrespect, because they lived a dream that we all wanted to live. They was able to put on an NFL uniform. But this is the thing, man. Carson Beck, just 2 years ago, we wouldn't have been saying that. We were saying Carson Beck was a top 10 pick out of Georgia. They put his stats up, and it was kind of misleading. They say he's a two-time NCAA championship. They said, as a backup. I was like, why did I even put that on there? He was the backup quarterback to the Stinson when they went on a back-to-back run at Georgia. But my thing is, Carson Beck, I mean, he did what he was supposed to do in that game. He was able to complete some passes. They gave him some clean pockets to throw in. I mean, we know he didn't play with Jeremiah Love, who was going to be the focal point. He didn't play with neither one of his receivers and the best tight end in football, some would say, with Tom McBride. You got Marvin Harrison Jr. You got Michael Thomas. They got some. I said Michael Thomas. They got Michael Wilson. They got some talented players over there in Arizona, but the quarterback is what's going to bring them together. So, I mean, if Carson Beck starts, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be disappointed either because it ain't like they got a franchise guy. Because if you thought that Jacoby Brissett was a franchise guy, you would have gave him more than a 1 year deal. And we know he's moved from New England to Cleveland to, I mean, he's been all over the place to Arizona. This guy holds the record for most completions in one game last year. So
Yeah,
I mean,
but Joe, I look at it like this. I mean, Arizona Cardinals are probably in the toughest division in not just the NFC, but NFL period. I mean, there's so many tough teams in that conference. They might be. I think they're gonna be pretty bad this year. I don't think terrible, but I think they will compete. I think they may be better off losing a lot of games this year. I know the players not thinking like that. Get one of these top quarterbacks coming out of the draft this season. That might be their best bet. Not saying Carson Beck can't be that guy, but if you can upgrade at that position, I think they might want to be thinking about doing that.
well, we'll see. Let's talk about on the Carolina Panthers side of the ball. We know that
Yeah.
Bryce Young didn't play. He's looking to try to get a contract extension. You know, he wants to be the franchise guy, but it's just the way that he fell in the draft and with him being in Carolina, I don't know if they're gonna be able to pay him the money that he probably demands what the market demands because he's coming in with the CJ Strouds. And you know, as more quarterbacks go get more money, the next quarterbacks benefit. And we already know we saw Dak Prescott make what over 60 million. And I know he's not going to ask for that, but he's going to be right over 50 million what he's going to ask for. We talked about this a little earlier, but you know, it's new fans on here every day. So what do you think about Bryce Young potentially getting an extension and make 50 million? Do you think that they're going to open the pocketbook for him?
No, I think they're going to make him wait. They're going to say last year you played decent. You're gonna have to do it again. Some quarterbacks have to wait. I know this is probably not fair. Life ain't fair sometimes. Some quarterbacks have to wait, and some get paid early. He's one of those guys gonna have to wait. Him and CJ Stroud, they're gonna say, okay, you doing pretty decent. We're gonna see if you can do it again. Run it back again. If he does it again this season, I think he'll get his money.
Okay.
But if he doesn't have, if he has a terrible season, I might be looking for another quarterback, or maybe they'll franchise tag him. Then you won't have to own long term after that.
Yeah, the benefit for Bryce Young right now, he's playing in a really, really bad division. Even though Baker Mayfield is down there with Tampa Bay, we see they didn't even make the playoffs last year. And we know that Tampa Bay struggles with the Carolina Panthers for some odd reason. Even when they have a really good team, they struggle with the Carolina Panthers. And the Panthers have gotten healthy. That's a scary thing. They did win a division, and they were a couple plays away from actually winning the first playoff game, which was a home game for them because they won a division. So Bryce Young gave them opportunity since Cam Newton to play in the playoffs and have a home game. So I don't think you throw him away, but 50 million is kind of steep if he's looking in that ballpark. But they did give guys like Daniel Jones money in that area where he didn't. I haven't seen him deliver anything either in the NFL as of yet. But he got that kind of money, and I guess I got to give props to him. They said he may be ready for the start of the season. I didn't think that he would be able to do that getting hurt in December. And they said he may be ready for the first part of the season, but we'll talk about that on some later episodes. But do you think
would you pay him? Would you pay him?
Bryce Young?
Yeah, right now. You make
honestly, if we're gonna be honest, man, we on Against the Grain Sports, so that's all we do.
Yeah,
I'm gonna keep it all the way funky. I would pay Bryce Young. And this is the read, but I will put him on a deal kind of like when they did Andy Dalton deal in Cincinnati, where or the Sam Darnold type of deal. I'll pay him his upfront a lot of money in his first 2 years, and then if he doesn't pan out, because he's still going in the fourth year, so he technically has 2 more years before they can part ways with him. I ain't gonna even hold you. I would pay him. I would pay him $50 million a year, and then get the option to cut him in that third year if he doesn't produce, because. Let's be real, bro. We know there's a ton of quarterbacks coming out next year, but if Bryce Young was coming out with this class quarterbacks, he'd be right there with him. So I mean, and he actually has experience in the NFL. Think about these guys coming out. We got Arch Manning coming out. We got Chamberlain coming out. We got Sam Levitt probably come out. Arguably, it's some other guys that I'm not mentioning. We got guys that haven't proved themselves on, of course, because they haven't played on NFL level. We got a guy that actually won games in the NFL. We got guys that actually played in the playoff game. So that's how I look. That's how I evaluate my quarterbacks. If I look at the quarterback classes that's going to come in, and the quarterback that I have, where would he stack up in that class? Is that fair?
Yeah, that's fair. Like you said, he has the NFL experience yet already that these other quarterbacks in college don't have yet. But you know, some of these other quarterbacks, they've been playing so much college football. Look at Chamberlain. Look at the college football he's playing. They're gonna have another season under his belt. So as long as he doesn't go to the Jets, he's going to be fine in his NFL career. Whatever you do, Chamberlain, I know you avoided him last year. Stay away from the Jets organization if you want to have a good career. Oh, I have worked out for Sam Darnold. I guess he finally bounced around enough to get him a good job. But stay away from them, and I think you'll be just fine.
Hey, so King Minks had a little fire back. He said, "So and Jody, Memphis played in a terrible American Conference, but it's war now saying we SWV escape in the Supreme." Hey, listen, you forgot about TLC and
These are
Invo.
jokes, dog. These are jokes. Don't take it personal. But
Hey.
y'all suck at football.
Hey, so he forgot about Moke and Steph.
Hey, Jody, what about Subway, nigga? What about
But before we get off of this preseason game, Haynes King played in that game. And we know that Haynes King was another notable name coming out of Georgia Tech. Some say he couldn't really throw the football, but he showed in that preseason game that he can throw the ball. Would this cause any kind of controversy for Bryce Young if he continues to play well? If Bryce Young get hurt, he comes in and plays well. Do you think that that's going to change the mind of Carolina?
Most definitely. You know, the most popular player on the team is always the backup quarterback. He's going to play well this preseason. Bryce Young's probably not going to play. He's probably going to play well in all the next 2 preseason games. So, you know, everyone in Carolina is going to start buying this kid's jersey. Man, I'm telling you, Bryce, if you don't get it done, we're going to put this kid out there. And he's got that leadership quality about him. He's a dual threat quarterback, which everyone loves in today's game, especially when you're not black. They love those dual threat white quarterbacks in the league. Am I right, Jody?
You definitely hit the nail on the head right there.
Let's be facts. So it's okay when the white guys do it. But anyway, that's another story for another day. But yeah, if he plays well, you know, all NFL teams love to win cheap. So if they can put a rookie out there that's making pennies and get rid of Bryce Young and have the same result, they'll definitely do that.
You know, this is the crazy thing when I look at Haynes King, because he was my dark horse guy to win a bit of Heisman Trophy a couple years ago. And I think that you're right, man. I think that this causes controversy, him playing well. But this is what, like you said, you're playing against guys that's going to be maybe gym teachers in a couple of weeks, you know, and you know, those guys are living out their dream or whatnot, man. But I just think that Carolina needs to go ahead, and if you trust Bryce Young, go ahead and trust him all the way. If you're going to go down with the ship, go down with the ship. Pay Bryce Young, get him the weapons that he needs. You've done a little bit of that. The offensive line is actually more solid than anybody give them credit for. Actually, the offensive line, they've been building that offensive line for about 4 to 5 years. And we got to look at the sacks. They don't sack Bryce Young a lot. If he does get sacked, it's because he's not getting rid of the ball in time. They run the ball fairly well. The defense with Derrick Brown back, that makes them an almost, I'm not going to say elite, but at least middle of the pack defense. So I trust Carolina. We don't know what's going on in Atlanta. We don't know what's going on in Tampa Bay. You know, New Orleans look like a team on the rise. They got a lot of offensive weapons, but, you know, they still with their second-year quarterback and Tyler Shaw. So my thing is Carolina, go all in on Bryce Young. If you don't get it, then scrap it. Just scrap it and shit, do it all over again. It ain't like y'all got nothing to fucking lose. Y'all fucking Carolina. Like, let's stop acting like these niggas are the Green Bay Packers of the 60s. Like, we keep saying are they the 49ers of the 80s, man? Carolina is Carolina, and they're going to have a lot of ups and downs. You see what I'm saying? We saw they done been to 2 Super Bowls, but we done saw where they ain't make the playoffs in 10 years. So just go all in on Bryce Young. He's your number 1 pick. He got you out to the playoffs. He showed that he can battle adversity. When he lost his girlfriend to Tyrese Maxey, they benched him. He got it together. He played well after that. That right there, and I know you laughing, but that right there showed me resilience.
Being tender dick makes you resilient.
Bench, and then come back and lead their team to a playoff run after all the scrutiny, after all everybody laughing at him and shit. Who can do that? So don't he get some credit for that?
Well, Jody, I'm gonna tell you right now, man. That conference, the NFC South, it's a 2-team race. To me, it's gonna come down to Tampa Bay or Carolina in this division. I guess you can say a sleeper, maybe the Saints. But I think whichever one of those teams lose that sorry conference, it's gonna be major changes for those 2 teams. I really do think that. I can see that happening. If Tampa don't win that division, I can see the head coach getting fired. I can see maybe Baker Mayfield not being there, making major changes. They already got some of the veterans one out of there, so we'll see what happens there.
I ain't gonna even hold you. I thought Todd Bowles got fired 2 years ago.
Hey, don't Todd Bowles have one of those faces like he smells something that stink all the time? He got that look on his face like, what is that smell? He got that look on his face all the time.
That nigga is not handsome. I'm just going I love you, Todd Bowles, man. But Todd Bowles. But let's not even say this though. Todd Bowles we forget he was the last team that I believe had a 11 win season with the New York Jets.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So if you can win 11, if you can win 11 games with the New York Jets, man, you should have a statue outside of the Jet Stadium because that is
How
hard to
bad
do.
was that conference that year, that division when he won 11 games?
I don't know, but I remember him. He should still be the coach. If he won 11 games, I seen coaches that can't win 11 games in 6 seasons. Like so.
The Jets are like, we're not used to success. So if you're doing a good job, we're gonna let you go. We don't like this winning thing, so we're gonna let you go if you do a good job here.
When your owner name is Woody, I don't. And their name Woody Johnson. You got a fucked up name.
No, no, yeah, and they make baby oil too. So about Johnson baby oil. So
I
they
bet.
get some freaky shit going
Hey, I
on.
bet Diddy was in that locker room like take that, take that, take that, take that. That nigga was square like deep, deep. But anyway, we keep it moving. Your boy, man, Stefon Diggs. Stefon Diggs is now a Commander. We kind of, I'm gonna go with you more than anybody predicted because people were saying, do they go with Brandon Ayuk or do they go with Stefon Diggs? I know Brandon Ayuk is having a conniption right now. Like, damn, I did everything I could possibly do. Not, and the thing about it is not out of realm of that he could even still join the Commanders. I wouldn't if I'm the Commanders. But what do you think about Stefon Diggs going to Commanders? And I got an over under for you. So, how many weeks you think it's gonna take for him to hit Jalen Daniels' mouth?
He's already flirting as we speak. Jody, one of our starting left guards, Sam Cosby. They asked him the other day after the first practice. He already said he wouldn't want Stefon Diggs dating his sister. He
Right.
just got there, and he's already saying this shit after one practice. He's already saying this dude is freaky. But you know what? He did a great job with the New England Patriots, their number one wide receiver last year. So he does have some leadership qualities. Do you want him dating someone in your family? Probably not. But I don't care about that. I want him to go out there and catch passes. But he has already started a little bit of controversy. His first practice, he goes, I'm the number one on this team. Bro, slow down. Slow down, nigga. You're a nice player. But this is Scary Terry's team. You can ride along with us and help us get back to the playoffs, but I don't think you're the number one on this team. But I guess wide receivers, they're just divas. They like the drama, they like the attention. So I guess if it wasn't wide receivers saying shit like that, I guess they think something's wrong with them.
Yo, it's crazy work, and I'm gonna get to Stefon Diggs on the field, but off the field, it's crazy work for Stefon Diggs. But like, you got everybody in the league say, "What, nigga? What are you doing to women? What are you doing to women where nobody wants you to date anybody in their fucking family?" Like, I remember when he was with the Minnesota Vikings, they asked that question. Everybody was like, "Nah." He didn't bring his name. He said, "Who on the team would you not want Daniels?" Everybody. I'm talking about offensive linemen, coaches. Nigga, what are you doing? What are you doing to women or men?
People.
People. Nigga, what are you doing to people where they don't want you dating? And I don't know, man. But Stefon Diggs, let's keep it real. Now go back on the field. I just had to throw that in there. But on the field, man, Stefon Diggs is a guy.
Stefon Diggs threw it in there too. That's just one of his problems. He's throwing it in there too.
True. But my thing is Stefon Diggs this nigga has changed quarterbacks' lives. When he was in Minnesota, he gave Case Keenum an opportunity to get more. Case Keenum is still in the league because of Stefon Diggs. Because he was the one that actually threw that pass where they got that win against New Orleans Saints, that miracle pass. That was Case Keenum that threw that pass to Stefon Diggs.
Yeah.
He goes to Buffalo, and I don't know why Josh Allen should always send him a Christmas card or something because he made it where Josh Allen. People, let me go here. I'll give y'all some history lesson out there on Against the Grain Sports and anybody that follows sports. And I know we love Josh Allen. We're not picking on Josh Allen. I'm just saying Josh Allen was teetering after his second or third year. They were wondering if he was the guy in Buffalo. They were like, he got enormous amount of talent, but he was erratic. He was an erratic passer. Remember that? Remember he was kind of erratic as a passer. They didn't know that he was really raw. And then they say, okay, we're gonna make this trade or we're gonna pick up Stefon Diggs. They bring Stefon Diggs in the camp. And he changed Josh Allen's trajectory of who we look at, the way we look at Josh Allen because of Stefon Diggs. Now he goes to the Houston. He gets hurt. I think he would have helped. He would help C.J. Stroud if he didn't get hurt.
I agree.
And then he goes and he helps Drake May in year 2 get polished as a quarterback and was second in the MVP and took a team to the Super Bowl. I think he does the same thing for Jaden Daniels. Now him saying he's the number one. in theory, so I understand what he's saying because
Yeah.
I believe that you get the most out of Scary Terry in the slot or he's the number two. I think he still puts up the same numbers. And hear me out, hear me out.
I'm with you.
He's still putting up the same numbers, but he's not getting that type of coverage. You want a guy saying that so y'all can roll the coverages to Stefon Diggs, who y'all don't have long term money in, and you continue let Scary Terry tear up a number two. If you put Scary Terry in the slot, he's gonna catch 100 passes.
Well, yeah, I mean, the last couple of years, he's put up really good numbers as the number one. He had no number two at all. No one can even name the number two they had on the roster the last couple of years. So he's been putting up good numbers. As long as we have a healthy quarterback, which, his rookie, JD5's rookie year, he had a great season that year. He didn't know what to do with a quarterback that could actually get him the fucking football. But we'll see, man. I'm looking forward to it. I'm a little bit more excited about my team now that they picked up Stefon Diggs, because I think now they can be actually spread the field a little bit more, and I'm excited to see what this offense can do. But I am scared for JD5's mama.
I'm not.
I know that Stefon Diggs. I know that JD5's a big mama's boy. He spends a lot of time with his mama, which is no wrong with that. We only get one mama. You want to be spending much time with her, but brother, it seems like he spends a lot of time with his mom. I don't know when he got time for the ladies.
Can I say something?
Yes, sir.
Where the fuck is his daddy at? Like on some real.
Jody, I thought the same thing. This nigga daddy's still in his life, but he's never around.
Wow.
He must really hate. Maybe him and his wife, his ex-wife, well, I don't know if they were married, had a terrible breakup or something. He don't want to be around her. Kind of like Coach Prime and his ex. He don't want to be nowhere. He don't want to be in the same room with that chick. So maybe it was some situation like that.
I just never heard them mention his dad. Like, I'm not saying that he has to be present. I know a lot of times, a single mom raising their son, but he does have a daddy, and they never mention. They act like he was brought by the start. But
hopefully the Super Bowl guys dropped him here, and we can get back to another fucking Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's crazy work. Hey, real quick, Kim Ming said Todd Bowles looked like Apollo Creed train. Then he said, he said, how does it take Diggs to get the parking attendant, the food person, and the ticket person? And he said, isn't Diggs a switch hitter? Hey, we got our girl Tasha in the building. T Sizzle in the building. What's up, Ma? She was I was just over there. I don't know. We normally don't agree on a lot of stuff, but on her show, we was agreeing a lot on the Extra Point, man. If y'all haven't subscribed to the Extra Point, y'all do so. That's a very, very, it's an insightful type of show. It's very well orchestrated show, and it gives you a lot of knowledge. I love it because it's like they're really speaking facts. I don't like when people get up here and all they talk about is hyperbole, or they talking about gossip. No, they get down to the nitty gritty, and I love it. Appreciate y'all guys over at the Extra Point. But once again, man, big sponsors. We got to give a shout out to our sponsors before we keep going. The ones that's paying the bills. We got our man Michael Wright, attorney at law. Man, if you have any legal issues, wrongful deaths, you got any personal injuries, anything like that, workman's compensation, just call Mike, and you can call him at 937-222-7477. In any 50 states in America, in any city in America, you can give him a call, and he can give you legal advice or representation. So make sure you give him a call if you run into anything. Traffic tickets, I don't care what it is. Just give his office a call. But
you think Tony Romo gave him a call? Because, he's been having some issues lately.
Tony Romo gave him a call. What's my guy that had the gun charge? James Harden gave him a call. Like, it's a whole bunch of guys just give him a call. Mark Sanchez need to call him. It's like
Hey, Joe, Tony Romo about to lose his job too, bro. They pretty much said that it's a wrap for him.
Bro, I guess we can go ahead and segment to that. What's up to my man Andrew, mic'd up in the building?
What up?
Tasha said she appreciated it. Kimi said, don't let Malika Andrews find out about Jaden Daniels. She'll hurry up. And yeah, very true. Malika Andrews can't wait to tell about a single mom. Like, we need both parents in our life, man. It's not just one person doing more than the other, regardless of the. I hate that.
Why does black media hate on black people so much? I don't. Do they do that because they know that puts them in a certain spot and it makes them look better? Like, what's the chick name that worked for the ESPN? Something Steele. What's her name?
Sage Steele.
She's on TV on this podcast because ESPN fired her ass too. She's on there talking about, Ryan Clark deserved to get fired. Shut the fuck up. No one can fuck what you think, Sage. What kind of name is Sage?
Let's talk about that before we go on. I like that. You brought that up. And I look at that. I think when you what I've seen on social media, not just sports social media. I'm talking about any social media. If you're African American and you speak bad about African Americans, it's like you shoot up the charts. Like this guy, I don't want to keep giving this dude all this praise, but Officer Tatum,
Oh,
this
bro.
this motherfucker is on shows with CNN. He's getting into it with DL Hughley. He's on Stephen A. Smith show that don't even talk. He don't even talk about sports. And it's like if you hate African Americans and you're African American, go ahead and punch your ticket. You're gonna be a worldwide phenomenon. Look at Jason Whitlock, all these guys, and I think Jason Whitlock. Take away all that stuff, he is a fantastic writer. I remember reading his articles back when he was at Sports Illustrated. Like the guy is uber intelligent, but it's like okay, I don't even think so. I don't even think they even believe this shit. I think they know like the niches. Have you ever seen on TikTok or any social media where it's an African American rap song or something like that, but an older white woman raps it, and all of a sudden she blows up and she's invited to the barbecues? Have you ever seen
Yeah,
that?
I see it all the time.
But let me rap that song, and I'm a thug, and even though I'm educated, got my degree, have my own business, they'll still say, "Oh, what are you singing this thug? Why you have this type of mentality?" And it's really, man. I know we talking about sports, but I just had to segment off a little bit about that. It's almost like if you look at Stephen A. Smith, how he shot up the charts, talking about Kyrie Irving
Yeah.
and Kwame Brown. And then it's like you gave Kwame Brown all that energy, and I'm talking about Stephen A. Smith, but you didn't give none of that energy to Darko Milicic.
Yeah, bro. I don't know why we do this, man. We continue to kick our own people. It makes no sense to me. If I have to do that to get on, I don't want to get on. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather just keep doing this and doing the thing our way because I'm not shitting on my own people just to make a couple extra dollars. I don't see the point. I couldn't wait to sleep at night. That's just the way I was raised.
I'm gonna say this too, and we're gonna keep going. Why don't nobody get no smoke to Andre Bunyani?
Who?
Remember the first round draft pick
I know you're talking about.
for Toronto? Don't nobody give him no fucking smoke for being a bust. We're still talking about Michael Olowokandi. We're still talking about Kwame Brown. We talking about Anthony Bennett, but don't nobody get that dude no smoke.
Nope.
Don't nobody give Andrew Bogans no fucking smoke. You know those guys were number one picks. And
Yeah.
I never hear anybody giving any smoke to those guys. I don't see Stephen A. Smith mentioning those guys when they have a segment. I don't see anybody in social media. I don't see nobody in sports media talking about those particular guys when it comes to anything saying that they're a bust. Everybody refers back to Sam Bowie. Everybody refers back to Kwame Brown. This is against the grain sports. We're gonna keep it all the way real. Why the fuck did those dudes get a pass, but y'all don't give Kwame Brown and them no fucking pass?
It's us kicking ourselves while we each other wives down. It's just that's what we for some reason that's what our people like doing. For the life of me, I just don't understand it. Now, I'm not saying that we don't give brothers a hard time when this show because if you're doing something fucked up, we're gonna bring it up. But we don't get our numbers, which we do get some really good fucking numbers. But I hate to brag, nigga, but we the shit anyway. But all that being said, we don't talk bad about our people to get on. That's not how we get down, brother.
I'm gonna talk. This is one place that I try to come to where I can just talk about sports. I don't want to talk about race. I don't want to talk about religion. I don't want to talk about politics. Sports is, I thought, was the one thing in my life I can escape that. And then now we're bringing that into sports, and I'm trying to keep it out of sports. Now, you can mention that a quarterback is African American because, I mean, you got eyes, don't you?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And a lot of times, sports play in our face. They play in our face, and we see that this guy gets a pass and this guy don't. But it ain't always because you're African American or you're white American. Sometimes it's because if you're likable, if you're not likable. Because last time I checked, Tim Tebow was a white quarterback, and he got treated very, very poorly in the NFL. He got treated very poorly to have won an MVP. I mean, won an playoff game. Real quick, Tasha said, "Well, Says identifies as other." King Ming said, "Hey, Jody and so against the grain sports beefing with a podcast like Speak Easy and Nightcap or Cam Newton. I don't like that. I don't like beefing with no podcast or nothing like that."
Speak Easy was talking shit about Shannon Sharp them podcast the other day. We have a real nice studio, and those guys just do their show kind of like we do. Everyone's in different locations, bro. What the fuck? What's that got to do with anything?
What they do with anything, bro? Like, first of all, what? Anyway, we'll get to that in a minute. We'll close with that. Tasha said, "There's no way they can believe the shit they say. It moves the needle and gets the views. I don't want that kind of fame. Me either. I don't want to be known.
We move the needle too, and we don't do that kind of bullshit.
I don't want to be known as a Jason Whitlock. I want to be known on his. Like I said, if Jason Whitlock is watching, he is extremely intelligent. Like, for have you really read some of his stuff? But he's getting his claim to fame since I believe he left. He's not with Sports Illustrated anymore. but he gets his claim to fame by just bashing black people. I
Yeah.
mean, he gets his claim to fame talking about Angel Reese. He sees what the hot topic is, and he goes after whatever African American hot topic, whether it's LeBron James, Angel Reese, whoever it is go Ryan Clark, Stephen A. Smith. He speaks on it. So I mean, it is what it is. Uh, my man Sadiq said against the grain sports becoming a name sports fans should know. Absolutely
Yes,
appreciate you,
sir.
big dog. But let's talk about the Tony Romo before we move on. You said that Tony Romo probably is going to lose his job. How do you feel about that? Like, do you think he gets some type of redemption, or you think that you get rid of him?
Recently, there's been when Romo first got on, everyone said, "Man, this guy's Nostradamus. He's predicting plays before they happen." But the last couple of years, there's been a little bit of pushback on Tony Romo. So he hasn't been as popular lately as he was when he first started commentating games. He almost dropped the N-word a couple of years ago on live television. So sometimes I think these organizations, they might be looking for an out. So that DWI, huh? Yeah, we've been looking to get rid of your ass anyway. So I think that now they got a leg to stand on. I don't know if this voids his contract or does he have to give him a buyout. But I think CBS going to give him his walking papers. That's my opinion, Jordan. What do you think?
I think they will, but I think he'll sit out about a year and he'll resurface somewhere else because I'll be honest, I enjoy Tony Romo as
You
a.
think he's good?
I mean, he's decent. And I just had this conversation with somebody, and I was like, we always talk about how much better we are. And the reason why I came up was let's go ahead and speak about how Emmanuel Acho was speaking about Shannon Sharp and we're better. And then now you got Cam Newton jumping in there like, well, I did this organically. Who cares? Y'all all for former professional athletes. How can y'all say y'all did anything organically when everybody knew y'all name? It ain't hard when y'all got money behind. Y'all can get studios and y'all can get producers and y'all can get ads. That's I think when you have a podcast, to me, and it's just me, you should be able to move. If you were a professional athlete, former athlete, or whatever, you should be in a different category than guys like us.
Yeah.
Reason why I say that is because y'all already have a built-in, fame. And a lot of people like the Joe Buttons of the world, all these guys that got popular podcasts, I mean, I respect them because they did what they had to do. But my thing is, y'all up here arguing about organicness, and I'm like, y'all got a whole team of people that's doing y'all work. So who is really doing anything organically? Who, like, let's be real, who is only the guys that's grass rooted like us that nobody knew. Nobody know who I am. They know who I am from my city. They know who you are from your city. But outside of Dayton, Ohio, do anybody really know who the fuck Jody Coleman is?
They
You
do
see what I'm
now.
saying? They do now, but I'm like, my city, yeah, I'm pretty known in my city. You know what I'm saying? I can go out here, you say my name, you come up to Dayton and say, Jody, 9 times 10, they're gonna know who I am. But my thing is, if outside of Dayton, I ain't known. You ain't gonna go to Cleveland and be like, Jody. I'm like, Jody, who the dude that sell flowers by the freeway? No, not that nigga. So what I'm saying is, for them to be arguing and fussing amongst each other, just come together. I mean,
Yeah.
y'all trying to get numbers. Y'all don't even need clicks. Y'all are very known. So why the fuck do y'all need clicks? So I don't know. So man, I'm just not on that shit. But with Tony Romo, I think that he should get an opportunity to go to rehab. Go to rehab.
Yeah.
But what the fuck is you drinking and driving and you worth millions? Go get you a fucking Uber or limo or some shit to pick you up, bro. Like, I don't understand that shit.
Jody, you got all that money. You should tell one of your homeboys here, look, hey, Jody, look, man. We're going to this golf tournament. I'm paying you not to drink today. You just hang out, and when it's time to go, you drive with me home. But I think these, as men, I'm not going to sit here and say I've never drunk and drive before. I've made that mistake. But he's got too much money, too much anything. And Uber's not or inexpensive. You don't need a lot of money to get a fucking Uber. Hell, I can get a fucking Uber Black if I wanted to right now. I'm not going to do it because it's extra money. But why are we doing this? You ruining your career. You could possibly kill someone. So like you said, Joe, if he goes out and apologizes, goes to rehab, they'll probably give him another shot. But I don't blame CBS for cutting bait with Tony Romo. I mean, Jerry Jones, his second daddy, will give him a job. He'll be calling games just for the Cowboys if he wanted to.
I don't have a problem with that. I just think that I like the consistency that CBS is displaying, that you're not just doing this for one person just because you feel like he's good. I feel like, I like the fact that they're being diplomatic about it and doing the things and making it even across the board. But going back to what I said, I just don't like when people you got to think about this. If we say that this person is not good, I hear people like, oh, Tony Romo's not a good commentator, they should hire me. Okay, when you get that position, somebody gonna say the same thing about you.
Yeah.
Somebody gonna say you were not that good. That's why I never knock another podcast or whatever. I always big up whoever trying to do this. I don't care if you are popular, you're not popular. I'm always gonna big up somebody when it comes to podcasting because it's like everybody like the shit you talk about. You never know what needs to be heard. So I just don't like when people knock somebody and be like, oh, this guy ESPN suck. They should hire me. Okay, when you get there, somebody gonna say you suck and they should hire them. It's never gonna stop. So, but that's my take on that. Real quick, Tasha said Romo doesn't deserve that job anyway. Hell, the way they were commentating sounded like he was a drunk as he got pulled over. Tasha's stupid. She crazy. Kimmy said he better than Chris Collinsworth. I know that about Tony Romo. Chris
Oh,
Collinsworth be saying some of the wildest takes I've ever heard. He got a pausable moment every other segment. He be talking about the length and girth, and I never seen a hole that big. Like it's crazy work. He be saying some shit. My dude Sadiq said, I heard about I hear you, but I think Romo brought a lot to the broadcast and some really good moments. It's definitely a topic worth debating. Though appreciate you sharing your take. And then Tasha said, we never think we're as drunk as we are. My
that's true.
question is, was he alone at the bar? And if not, why didn't they have let him drive? True. And she said the job is not as easy as it looks when that camera comes on. It's a difference, very different, man.
He,
But
he
let's
was
keep
act-
it.
he was actually at a golf tournament where that's what he told the cops when they pulled him over. He was leaving the golf tournament. Which I played golf before, and you could be putting him back at a golf. You playing golf, so I understand why he was drinking, but the driving part, come on, bro, you can't
Yeah,
be doing.
we never think we that drunk. We like, oh, I've done
That's
this a
true.
million. I've done this a million times. I've done this a million times. Nah, my bro.
Jody, story time, Jody. When I was in my early 20s, me and my wife lived in a apartment. We just got married. We were on the third floor, right?
Mm-hmm.
I went out with my buddies. I got drunk that night. Drove home. Terrible mistake. Shouldn't have done it. I climbed up the the staircase and got home. My wife wakes me up that morning. Hey, come here. Let me show you something. I go downstairs, bro. Both of my truck doors are open. My my sliding back door to my truck is open. She was like, "What the fuck were you doing last night?" I said, "Baby, I don't remember. I don't know if I opened this door and climbed over to the other side. I don't know what the fuck I was doing." So drinking and driving is never a good idea.
I got one. If we can, just a few minutes. And
Let's go.
I don't, my thing is, I'll drink. Like I said, I don't drink a lot, but when I do drink, it goes right through me, or I don't know.
Whoa, whoa,
So
whoa, 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 whoa.
yeah,
What
I
goes right
said it.
through?
I said it,
What goes right
and
through?
I'm gonna tell you.
Okay.
Just recently, I just because I had a divorce. I got divorced, and so I'm drinking. I'm out every night. I had a 1 bedroom apartment. I went from a house to a 1 bedroom apartment. Boy, that's a culture shock within itself. So I'm just being transparent to everybody out there. So I go out. I go drink it at a local club, and I come home. I'm cool. So I lay down. I done made it home. I done lay down. I get up. I'm so thirsty. My mouth is. I go into my kitchen. I go into the kitchen, and all of a sudden, everything starts spinning. Everything so I pick up the cell, I pick up my phone. I'm like, I don't know why. This is what house phones were in. I picked up the house phone. And next thing you know, I'm like, man, I get so drunk. I said, man, I'm about to call 911.
Nigga.
Nigga, I
Did you
pass
call the
out on
cops
it.
on yourself, Jody?
Listen, bro, I pass out on the floor. I get up, I got the phone in my hand, and I'm butt naked, bro. I don't know how every time I get drunk, I get naked. Every time I get drunk, I end up
Freaky
naked.
ass nigga. Freaky
I woke
ass
up.
nigga.
I look when I got up, I got the phone in my hand, and all I could think of is let me check my door because I'm like, is somebody undressing me in this motherfucker? Every time I get drunk, I end up getting naked. So guess what? More of the story: Jody, stop fucking drinking because you can end up naked, and I don't want to be drinking in prison.
Jody, have you ever gone streaking when you get naked?
I've never done it. I never done. I just always wake up naked, and I always wake up on the floor. I always wake up on the floor, and I wake up naked.
Maybe alcohol makes your body really warm. You say, I gotta take these fucking clothes off. Maybe that's what
Hey,
it is.
hey, it gives you wings.
God damn, nigga. Oh man.
Hey, Tasha, I swear to God, I was gonna call 911. I swear to God, I was gonna call
What were you
911.
gonna, Jody? What are you gonna say him? Hey, it's a drunk motherfucker in my house.
Bruh, because the room was spinning. I'm like, I don't know. And I listen, when I say I get naked, I ain't got socks on or nothing.
That nigga said newborn naked. This is fresh out the womb naked.
That nigga said newborn. But real quick. Sadiq said that's the $1 million question. Somebody at the bar definitely needed to be a designated driver and adult that night. And then Tasha says, he said, damn, Jarrell. And she said, I'm done. 911, Jody. Then King Ming said, reminder, don't drink with Jody. Don't drink.
You ain't
Don't drink with
lying.
me. Bro, I don't know because I just be waking up ass naked. I'll be waking up ass naked. I don't know if I feel free. But let's get back to people getting paid.
Niggas, I feel free.
I feel free. Let's talk about people getting paid. Running backs are making a comeback. They're starting to be in the 20 million. Now we got guys that's making 25 million. Bijan Robertson, now Jameer Gibbs, and also Jonathan Taylor, who makes 22 million a year. Gibbs and Robertson both 25 million a year. We know Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley right around 18 and 19, and of course Christian McCaffrey, and then Jeremiah Love, who's making more than all of them. I don't know how as a rookie. So talk to me about the resurgence of running backs getting a fucking respect.
Somewhere Earl Campbell is smiling. I know you like them hot links. Anyway,
Yeah.
we talked about for the last couple of years, Joe, the disrespect. Oh, some people say the most important position on the team. I mean, the quarterbacks are very important, but these running backs, sometimes they're 60, 70% of your offense. They carry the ball, they block, they catch passes out of the backfield. They deserve to get paid. And this makes my heart smile that these guys that deserve the more money than some of the other players on the roster are getting paid. So I really love this because, as a wide receiver, I'm not saying the wide receivers don't deserve to get paid, but somebody has to get them the ball. They have to get open and all this other stuff. But the running back, you turn around and hand the damn ball. All right, do your thing. So, but I really love that these guys are getting paid because they definitely deserve it.
Man, I love it because I'm a former running back, going back to my youth. That's where I started. Before I even played basketball, my first love was the running back position. And I got a story. When I was younger, my dad looked like Walter Payton. So my dad had a Jerry curl.
Whoa,
So
hey, he had the curl. Was it well?
listen, he had a juicy Ice Cube Jerry curl. And
Ooh, dope boy.
my dad, he was doughboy. It was crazy. And my dad he was real muscular. And my dad was a football player in West Virginia. So I was really good in football. So I should say my dad is Walter Payton. So people didn't know because my dad was always leaving, and they thought that my dad was Walter Payton. So I always wanted to play the running back position. Just a little history about that. But yeah, man, I think running backs deserve it. The wear and tear on their body and the life expectancy. Because on these contracts, look at them. None of them are more than 4 years. Like I think Bijan Robertson and Jameer Gibbs are 3 years. I believe Jonathan Taylor's is 3 years. So they know, like, let me get them. This is probably their last contract they're going to get. So now Jeremiah Love got an opportunity to get another contract because he's a rookie. But these other guys, they may not see another payday. So I think the second contract for these rookies need to be like this for every good running back, because we know the life expectancy for a running back is not that long. They normally don't even get to their second contract. Like at an elite level, unless you're Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley, Christian McCaffrey. These guys are the legendary players in the league. So I think they need to get paid a lot of money. I think that they need to be getting paid upward of 30 million on their second contract. If you want to keep it to a 2 or 3 year deal, I don't have any problem with that. And I remember you made mention that. You said that let's start giving contracts out to players, but let's minimize their years.
Yeah.
I think that's the way you can do it. And I think Jameer Gibbs got down there 90% of his contract guaranteed. I think he's getting like 67 million of it guaranteed.
He deserves it too, Jody. Another thing is what's it going to change things? You talked about Jeremiah Love's contract because he got drafted in the top 5. In the last 10 to 15 years, we haven't seen too many running backs get drafted high. So I think that's also going to be a new trend. If some of these running backs are really good in college, I think some of these really elite level running backs are going to be drafted high in the draft. That's going to help their money as well.
This is crazy. Now, Paul, back from the extra point. That's my man, Paul.
What up, Paul?
He said, I got a pausable moment. He called him Quadzilla Barkley. That's kind of a pausable moment. Because why are you looking at that man's? I'm joking with you, Paul. He said,
Paul called him Thunder Thighs.
Yeah, he looking at him like Crowder was looking at him. Remember, I said, bro, are you trying to smash? Like he was running game on him, like he was trying to smash. But Paul said, opened the floodgates with the backwards jump. Yeah, he did. Tasha said it's a cycle. Pass rushers getting. He said pass rushers getting the quarterback, so they have to hand the ball off more, and the new running backs are more skilled. My nephew Donald said what's up? He'll be back on Monday. Can't wait for that. He'll be back on Monday. But yeah, man, I'm glad that these guys are getting paid. That's very warming to my heart because running back is my first love. That was my first love. I wanted to play running back. I wanted to be Walter Payton so bad when I was a kid. That was my favorite player until Eric Metcalf took over that mantle. I just wanted to play the running back position, and I wanted the ball all the time. I love making people miss, and I love running through people, man. I run through people. I do. Hey, I do it more as an adult.
Do you warn them first, or you just go run through
I
them?
just go right in there. I just no warning, no
Hey,
warning.
coach, hey, Jody. When I played school or football in school, I played mostly cornerback. I played a little bit of quarterback, but coach would be like, "Hey, you want to try a tailback?" I said, "Yeah, coach, I give it a try. Hit this hole right here." So I bounced everything outside.
Mm-hmm.
Blitz, come here. He said, "You're supposed to hit that 3 holes, coach. Ain't no fucking hole there." so I'm about that. I'm not running through it. If it's too many guys, I'm just gonna bounce the shit outside. That's what I did every time. The coach didn't like that shit.
But see, the problem, if you got elite speed, you can get away with hitting the
Yep.
outside in junior
Yep.
high, in high school, in college. You ain't getting away with hitting.
Hell no, you ain't.
You better take that 2 or 3 yard gain, because if you try to hit the outside, you're gonna have a 2 or 3 yard loss.
Yep.
Trust and believe.
These are facts.
It's
You can ask Barry Sanders that sometimes.
and he just was so elite.
Yeah.
That's why running backs' life expectancy is not that long, because you got to take those 2 and 3 yard gains.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, you're gonna get out to the outside. That's Derrick Henry is better if he goes through the tackles. Between the tackles, Derrick Henry. You don't want to see Derrick Henry running a sweep.
No.
Early in his career, that's cool. Now we want to see him getting downhill. But that's another segment. Loving that the running backs are getting paid. But let's talk about, man, our top 100 players. Now we on 40 to 30, 31, right? So I'm gonna run this list down. And we got number 40, we got Trent Williams. Number 39, we got Justin Herbert, another your favorite quarterback. We got 38, we got Cooper Najee, the cornerback from the Philadelphia Eagles. We got 37, Penei Sewell, the Lions right tackle, I'm sorry. Number 36, we got George Pickens, wide receiver. We got 35, we got Jared Versus now with the Cleveland Browns. 34, Saquon Barkley. 33, Jared Goff. 32, Nick Benito. And 31, we got Dak Prescott, man. Talk to me about, give me two of those guys off this list that you believe should or shouldn't be on this list, and why.
Saquon Barkley is too high. I don't think he had a good season last year. He really let his team down. I don't think he should be as high as he is. I think he should probably be in the 50s. And I think Dak Prescott should be higher on this list. He had a great season last year. I know my guy Paul would love to hear this. Paul thinks he's gonna win the MVP this year. But I think Dak Prescott should be in the top 15, honestly, based off his numbers from last year. He had a great season. That's my two takes away from this top 10 right here.
Hey, Donald said he's coming back like Rondé Barber, so
whoa,
that's what he said. That's
Hall
what he
of
said.
Fame.
Hall of Fame.
Is that a gold jacket or what color yellow is that?
It ain't a piss color. It ain't a piss color. It ain't piss color.
The canary yellow.
It ain't piss color. But these are two of these guys that I believe shouldn't really be on this list, and not this high. Cooper Najee. And let me talk about Cooper Najee. Is he good? He's good. But
he's good.
But when we talk about top 5 corners, we talk about his counterpart. We talk about Mitchell. So why is Cooper Najee above Mitchell? That's basically saying the Philadelphia Eagles got the best cornerback combo in the NFL. I mean, according to the ratings right now.
Well, yeah.
But I don't think they do. I mean,
No.
Me personally, I don't think they have the best combo. I think they have some good young studs at the cornerback position. And if we look at the Philadelphia Eagles organization, they always had 2 good corners, going back to Troy Vincent and Bobby Taylor, Lito Shepard and Sheldon Brown, just to name a few situations where they had 2 of the top corners of very good corners. But Cooper Najee being at 38, I don't know if he's a 38 best player yet. I think he's very talented, uber talented. I think he's going to be an all-pro at some point. But we're talking about now. He's not the 38th best player. You telling me he's better than Lamar Jackson? I think you can take Cooper Najee off for the Philadelphia Eagles, and I think they'll be just fine. You know what I'm saying? When they struggle, they can make up somebody to step up in that position. But Cooper Najee at 38, and then they got him over Quinton Mitchell is very surprising to me. They have Mitchell. I think Mitchell was in the 50s or something like that, or 60s. If I'm not sure on that. But I say him, and then I'm also going to put Justin Herbert at 39. First of all, I don't think Justin Herbert is better than Lamar Jackson, of course. I don't think he's better than Joe Burrow, of course. I don't think he's better than your quarterback, Sunshine. I don't think he's better than him, Trevor
My
Lawrence.
quarterback? How the fuck is he my quarterback?
Because you said you like him, right?
No, never said that.
Never said that.
Never said that.
Never said that. But I don't think he's better than Caleb Williams. These are all these quarterbacks that he's ahead of on his list.
I know.
I don't think he's better than Bo Nix. I don't think he's better than Bo Nix. So when we looking at this list, so Justin Herbert has something to prove.
Oh, yeah.
When I see people being on the hot seat, we never see Justin Herbert's name being on the hot seat. So my thought process in this situation, 39 best player in the league for Justin Herbert, I'm not really buying that, and I'm not buying really Cooper and Gene being 38. What
Do
do
you
you think,
think
Slim?
Cooper gets extra points for being a white corner? I mean, how many white the Jason Sehorn of 2026? He's a good corner. But I agree with you, Jody. Being that high on the list, I don't think he should be way in the 30s. There's no way in hell he should be the top 40 player in the NFL. Give me a fucking break.
So Donald said Jared Goff and Justin Herbert should never be there. They are saying they're both better than Lamar Jackson. And I think everybody is going to really throw this list in the trash. And I think next year we won't have these same problems on this list because it's no fucking way we going to all. I don't give a fuck how else you cut it. There's no way Lamar Jackson is the 69th best player in what fucking league unless you got Joe Montana, Terry Bradshaw come back out of retirement, Tom Brady come out of retirement. That's only Walter Payton come back to life. And that's the only way Lawrence Taylor comes back, Barry Sanders. Now we're talking about top 100 all time, and he was 69 all time. I can agree with that.
Hey Jody, how do we know that these votes got counted like they should have gotten counted? Maybe the NFL, Donald Trump complained about voter fraud. Maybe the NFL say, you know what? We know Lamar got more votes than what he did. He should be in the top 15, but we'll get more controversy if we put him at 69. The people really get the crowd going if we do that shit. Maybe the NFL is doing that. They get more talking points in the offseason.
I think that there was nothing going on. You're right. I think you're going somewhere. I don't think it was nothing going on in the NFL season, and they needed something going on. They said, okay, we put Lamar Jackson, think about it. Every time you say something about Lamar Jackson, he never talks in the media. He never comes out and says anything. He just lets it sit right. You ain't gonna go after a player that's gonna speak freely. You go after the Jalen Hurts of the world. You go after the Lamar Jackson of the world. Guys that are not going to say anything, that's not going to get in the media and speak ill about anybody. So let's go ahead and let's disrespect the Lamar Jackson of the world so we can get ratings.
Yeah.
Because only while we watching this list is because we want ratings. And I'm going to tell you once again, there's a player that has not been named yet. His name is Aaron Rodgers. So if they say Aaron Rodgers is not a top 100 player, and then if you're saying he's one of the top 30 players in the league, that's what I'm more interested to finishing off this list. And if Aaron Rodgers is not on this list, that means you believe that Bryce Young was better than him.
Well, Jody, they're gonna. I'm guarantee you, if Aaron Rodgers is not on this list, the difference between him and Lamar Jackson is Aaron Rodgers will hold a press conference to prove to everyone with a slideshow to show everybody he deserves to be on this list because that's the type of guy he is. He worries about what people think. He acts like he doesn't. But he really does. He likes him. He's a media. He's an attention whore. Overrated quarterback at this point of his career. He's a Hall of Famer. All those.
Yeah, absolutely.
But right now, I'm tired of fucking Aaron Rodgers. I wish he would just go away. I'm glad this is his last year, and I hope he sticks to that plan.
He hated everything about Brett Favre, and he's acting just like Brett Favre.
Damn right.
But I mean, it is what it is. Donald said, has Jalen Carter's name been named yet? I think Carter is the best player on the Eagles defense. So if Cooper is ranked higher than Jalen Carter, I disagree. No, Jalen Carter is definitely going to be.
Oh yeah.
I think Jalen Carter is going to be a top 15 pick. I think right now he's arguably the second best D tackle in football, behind, of course, my boy Dexter Lawrence. The second, I think that he's rightfully over Chris Jones. I think Chris Jones. Remember I mentioned Chris Jones a couple years ago, and then people just now understanding what I'm talking about. But when I said it, we tend to get ahead of the curve on Against the Grain Sports.
Oh yeah.
And that's why I like the numbers are going up, so people can start recognizing our takes and understanding we're saying this well before the mainstream media is getting a hold of it. I said it's been a decline with Chris Jones. I said he cost them the first game of the season last year against the LA Chargers. He got out of his lane. He stays in his lane and contains Justin Herbert. He doesn't run the ball. Maybe Patrick Mahomes makes another miracle fourth quarter comeback, but I'm gonna leave that alone. That's for another show. But yeah, that was our top 25. We'll next week we'll talk about the next installment of the top 100. But real quick, man, before we get to college football, I want to talk about the Hall of Fame and give the shout out to the Hall of Fame guys that got in. The guys that got in the Hall of Fame, we got of course we got Larry Fitzgerald, one of the best wide receivers we ever seen. Drew Brees, who I believe is a top 10, top 5 quarterback in some people's mind. Roger Craig got into the Hall of Fame. A lot of people are really questioning him getting in the Hall of Fame because of his numbers. and other guys that may have a better resume than Roger Craig, but nevertheless, he has a gold jacket. He was on those Super Bowl teams with the 49ers. And Jerry Rice said without him, they don't win those Super Bowls. And then you got Luke Kuechly, who got in. I think Luke Kuechly had a great career, but this is a guy that only played about 8 or 9 years. And we always talk about the lack of years that players play or why they don't get into the Hall. And then here's a guy, him and Patrick Willis both, I think, played 8 or 9 years. And both of those guys are in before guys that have played like London Fletcher.
Yeah, don't get me started on that.
London Fletcher is a guy that comes to mind. But nevertheless, we'll talk about that in a second. Then Adam Vinatieri is I think the fourth kicker, special teams guy to get into the Hall of Fame. I think the only other kicker that got in, I know Morton Anderson is in the Hall of Fame, and I think Ray Guy is the punter that got in, and Devin Hester is the only returner that got in. So I believe he's the second kicker that got in, but the fourth special teams guy to get into the Hall of Fame, and we still are waiting on Brian Mitchell to get a call. So what do you think about this Hall of Fame class that got in?
All deserving players. I mean, even Adam Vinatieri. I mean, I know he's just a field goal kicker, but he was clutch his whole career. I think he deserves to get in. My only one, I don't mean to disrespect his brother. I know sometimes when I say things, Joe, you get upset with me. You think I should shut the fuck up and stop disrespecting these guys. But I don't think Roger Craig should get into the Hall of Fame. Was Roger Craig better than Ricky Waters? I don't know. He was very.
He better than Ricky. He better. If you going, he better than Ricky Waters.
But there's other backs. But I know Roger Craig's been waiting a long time to get in. To be honest with you, I forgot about Roger Craig. It wouldn't even cross my mind about him being in the Hall of Fame. Did he get in because of the veteran? You know, after so many years, you have to wait, and then they have a different committee that votes you in. Is that who got him into the Hall?
Yeah, he's on the veteran committee. He's not on the he's.
I don't want to shit on the brother's career. Like you said, Joe, he made the NFL. He won 2 or 3 Super Bowls. How many Super Bowls he won? 3?
3. He won 3.
Yeah, I mean, he did a lot with his career. But out of these players, I would say Roger Craig back in the Hall of Fame is a little bit of a question mark, my opinion.
But I think with the guys we're waiting to get in, I think Roger Craig and Luke Kuechly come to mind as two guys that I could have waited on. Like, especially like I love Luke Kuechly. I think he was one of the best linebackers of our era in the 2010s. But I think that Thomas Davis was almost equally as good as he was on that roster. Thomas Davis, who will never see the Hall of Fame. But I think Luke Kuechly and Thomas Davis was one of the best linebacker combos in the league, along with Brian Urlacher and Lance Briggs is another guy, 7-time Pro Bowler, a couple of All Pros. T. Sizzle hasn't got in yet. Just to name some guys that have won Defensive Player of the Year that hadn't got in. One of the top sack leaders in NFL history. You got guys like Fred Taylor, who's been waiting a long time. To be honest with you, I like Roger Craig, but LaShawn McCoy has a better resume than Roger Craig. I mean, Marshawn Lynch may have a better resume than Roger Craig.
Yeah, what if we got guys like Dexter Manley, Charles Mann? There's a lot of great players who we think deserve to get into the Hall of Fame. But and like you said, being about myself, man, I want these guys. If you think they deserve to get in the Hall of Fame, put them in while they're still alive. Let's not wait till these guys die and all of a sudden a family member has to put them in and do the speech for them. If we think these guys are good enough, stop waiting 30 years after they retire to get them. Either you're going to get in the motherfucker or not.
And see, that's where we're going to talk about. That's going to be the next segment we'll talk about in just a minute. But like I said, we know Larry Fitzgerald and Drew. I think Larry Fitzgerald and Drew Brees are the only surefire. I personally wouldn't have let Adam Vinatieri get in.
Why not?
He's
a football player.
But I mean, it ain't.
Was he clutch?
He's a field goal kicker, man.
Well, he was clutch though, Jody.
Bro, he's a field goal kicker, bro.
But he was still clutch, Jody.
I'm not saying he should have never got in, but I think over the people that we talking about L.C. Greenwood, bro. L.C. Greenwood got 4 Super Bowl championships. The guy was a 6-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All-Pro, and he's still waiting to get in. Lester Hayes was a Defensive Player of the Year. The guy has 2 Super Bowls. I'm not saying these guys shouldn't get in, but the guys that's before them, don't get me started on Donovan McNabb. Don't get me started on Randall Cunningham. Don't get me started on those guys. Fred Taylor been waiting for years to fucking get into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, Fred Taylor should definitely be in.
You let Tony Baselli get in, who was injury prone and only played 7 years, but you let him be the first Jacksonville Jaguar to get into the Hall of Fame. Let's not even get on Steve Smith Sr. Let's not get on Reggie Wayne. These guys, Torrey Holt. We're waiting on guys to get in the Hall of Fame, and
What
you
about
let Adam Vinatieri,
Clark? What about Gary Clark?
I don't know, he's borderline. Andre Rison, guys like that, Andre Rison, Gary Clark, borderline. But my thing is, surefire guys. Luke Kuechly, love Adam Vinatieri, and I love Roger Craig. I'm a huge football fan. But this is the same scenario. If you're likable, you get in.
There we go. That makes a big difference, Jody. It's politics of this shit.
Because you can't tell me that you ain't seen scenarios where London Fletcher's resume is not better than better than Luke Kuechly. You telling me,
bro? I got a video up, I want to repost it. That London Fletcher's numbers are comparable to Ray Lewis. I mean, don't get me wrong. Yeah. Ray got. I think he got one more Super Bowl than London Fletcher. I think he got two. London Fletcher only got one. But London Fletcher, he wasn't flashy. He didn't have any pregame dances. And I'm not shitting on Ray Lewis because Ray Lewis was an all-time great. But London Fletcher was that dude also.
Yeah, it's just too many people.
Too many great players, bro.
It's too many great players. But my thing is, it's too many people skipping the line. That's what I have a problem with. It's too many people that are jumping the line and getting ahead. Like, would you been okay if Roger Craig would have never made the Hall of Fame? Would you been okay?
I was been okay with that, brother.
Would you been okay if Luke Kuechly didn't get in right away?
Yeah, he's like you say, he didn't play very long. I'd be okay with that.
And would you have been okay if Adam Vinatieri never got in?
Facts, yeah.
I'm just throwing it out there. This is against the grain of sports. And look, I never made it to that level. I'm not knocking none of these guys. I'm not. Trust me, I go to Hall of Fame. I watch Roger Craig.
Yeah.
The high knees.
Yeah.
The double. I call it double, 1,000 yards receiving, 1,000 yards rushing. He was the first player to ever do it. But that doesn't make you ahead of guys like LaShawn McCoy, Shady McCoy, who got almost 12,000 yards rushing. Frank Gore, but I think he gets in. I think Frank Gore gets in eventually. I just think he's not. I also didn't believe he was the first ballot. I just think he just got a whole bunch of yards. But I guess longevity has to matter at some point. You got Sean Alexander, who has over 100 touchdowns.
Look how quick that running back that played for the New England Patriots. Look how fast he got into the Hall. He played for the Jets, played for the Patriots.
You talking about Curtis Martin? But no,
seemed like he got in real quick though, Joe.
Curtis Martin rushed for over 14,000 yards. Now let me tell y'all something before I move on.
It seemed like he didn't wait long though. It don't seem like he didn't wait very long.
He shouldn't have had to. This is my thing, and I'm gonna tell you when it comes to running back. I did a segment on this, and I'm gonna go say it again on Against the Grain Sports. The criteria for running backs to get in, if you want to surefire get into the Hall of Fame, guys, rush for over 12,000 yards. There's no running back in the Hall that's rushed over 12,000 yards for their career that's not in the Hall of Fame. Only one that's not in the Hall of Fame yet, but they will be, is Adrian Peterson, who will get in when he's eligible.
Next year.
He'll be a first ballot.
Next year.
And then Frank Gore. Frank Gore is going to eventually get in. So there's not going to be no running backs. So the I think the cutoff, rush for 12,000 yards for your career. If you want to do some stat checks, go ahead. I already did it, but go ahead and do it. Every running back that has over 12,000 yards rushing for their career is in the Hall of Fame. So running backs, Saquon Barkley's of the world, Christian McCaffrey's of the world. I think Derrick Henry just reached 12,000 yards, so I think he's surefire first ballot. Those guys, you get over 12,000 yards, you get into the Hall of Fame. If you don't get over 12,000 yards, Steven Jackson's of the world, you probably won't get in. I'm gonna be real. You probably won't. We probably never see Marshawn Lynch, LaShawn McCoy in our lifetime get into the Hall of Fame. I don't think Fred Taylor ever gets into the Hall of Fame. I don't think any of those guys in our lifetime was gonna get into the Hall of Fame.
Well, I can't disagree with you on that one, Jody, because we'll see how the running back positions played moving forward. They're gonna be looking at more total yards because they even got rumors out there that Arizona's guy that just drafted number 1 from Jordan. What's his name again? I can't think of his brother's name. The running back.
Oh, you talking about Love?
Jeremiah Love. He's running some outstanding wide receiver routes at practice, so he's gonna have a lot of receiving yards, I think, in that Arizona offense. So down the line, the rushing yards might not mean as much as the running back, and it's going to be more combined yards because it's going to be a lot of receiving yards for the old school running backs. Is going to go away, I think.
You're not going to see. I'm gonna tell you right now. These are the running backs you're going to see get in: Adrian Peterson, Frank Gore, and Derrick Henry. Yeah. After that, it's going to be a long wait for any running back getting into the Hall of Fame. Just mark my word. Donald said, I think the longer you wait, It makes it harder to get more players retire every year and makes the pool go choose for a bigger pool. King Ming said Brian Mitchell was cold, special teams, and then Donald said Adrian Peterson better than the all-time rushing leader. We're not about to do that. Not
Let's
on not
not do that today. But
don't
never mind.
don't
We're gonna let that Donald bring
don't
that up.
don't piss me off. Don't piss me off. But let's talk about this real quick, man, before we get to our college football segment. We talk about Hall of Famers, and we talk about guys that probably don't get in the Hall of Fame because some of the things they did off the field. We know that Big Ben has, he has a checker pass. And let's talk about that. Do you think that Big Ben is going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer? Or do you think that he gets in altogether now that we're in a day and age that we talk about what you done off the field? Do you think Big Ben gets in?
I think he gets in first ballot because what he did was not football related. Because you think who didn't get in this past year? We thought he should have get. Was it the owner of the Patriots or was it Bill Belichick?
No, it was Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick didn't get in.
The reason why he didn't get in because of the whole cheating scandals over the years. Now, what Big Ben did was terrible. Don't get me wrong. I'm not giving him any non-flack for what he did, but I think what he did was non-football related. So I think he'll probably still get in because of that. First ballot also.
I'm gonna disagree. I think if you let him in first ballot, and he was suspended, so it wasn't hyperbole. He got suspended for what he did. So where there's smoke, there's fucking fire. If you let him in first ballot and you don't let Antonio Brown get in, and what did really Antonio Brown do? He may be suffering from CTE. If we find out that Antonio Brown has CTE, are we going to apologize to Antonio Brown?
No, that's not how the world works. They're
not. This is against the grain of sports. I'm asking the fucking question.
They're not going to apologize to this man. No, they're not. And he definitely deserves to be in the Hall of Fame first ballot. Probably won't do it, but he deserves it.
Terrell Owens did not get into the Hall of Fame first. How the fuck did Terrell Owens?
Why they make it so difficult for wide receivers to get in first ballot?
I don't know. They didn't make it difficult for Larry Fitzgerald.
Because they compare everyone to Jerry Rice. Is that why this happens?
But they didn't do that to Larry Fitzgerald, and Terrell Owens had at the time was the second or third. Him and Randy Moss were right there, right behind Jerry Rice in all other statistical categories.
Larry Fitzgerald is very well liked, like you said earlier. He's
very well liked,
but extremely likable, and great player too.
I'm gonna say another player that don't deserve to be mentioned on this show, but he had a Hall of Fame career, and his name is Darren Sharper. Darren Sharper, of course, he did some egregious shit. He's serving prison time right now. I'm not going to talk about his case, but if you go look at his numbers, it's definitely Hall of Fame worthy. If you look at his numbers and compare them to even the likes of Ed Reed, interceptions, and now he don't have as many returns as Ed Reed, of course, but we'll look at his numbers and compare it to any other great safeties that played. But guess what? They're not letting him in the Hall of Fame or even mentioning his name because of what he did off the field.
Yeah.
So why the fuck is we allowing people to get in? Okay, we're gonna not look at this person's off the field acquisitions or whatever the fuck you want to call it, situations or whatever you want to do. But we're gonna forgive Big Ben for actually maybe ruining some young lady's life.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna let him in the Hall. I bet it was up to NFL people around the league. They would take O.J. Simpson's bus out of Canton if they could.
Yeah, you're right. They probably would. Yeah, life is not fair, especially for. I'm not gonna bring it up, but life is not fair sometimes. But we know what it is because I guarantee you, if Big Ben looked like me or you, there would be questions other than this show of him making the Hall of Fame at all because of his past. They would definitely bring that up. But Big Ben, they sweep some of this stuff on the rug, like they forget that Tom Brady was in multiple cheating scandals as a player, but they never talk about that. They just say he's the GOAT. But if he was a brother, they would bring up all those scandals that happened over his career.
And that's the only problem that I have. It's just like what's good for the goose got to be good for the gander.
Yeah.
Let's go into the comments. What's up, Kathy? She's in the building. What's up, Kathy?
What's up, Kathy?
King Ming said, I think he gets in on the second, third year. Donald said, I think Big Ben will get in first ballot. I just don't think, according to his play on the field, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There, without a doubt, Big Ben's a surefire first ballot Hall of Famer, but you can't overlook that. And then the reason why you saying Lester Hayes can't get in because they had Stickum and they outlawed Stickum in 1981. Well, it was legal when he was getting the 10 or 12 interceptions and he was defensive player of the year. The same person on your same fucking team, Fred Biletnikoff, used Stickum. He made the Hall of Fame. But now all of a sudden, we're not, oh, Stickum. But y'all didn't outlaw it to 1981.
I got
So if you didn't outlaw it to at 1981, everybody had an opportunity to use Stickum. He just used something that y'all said was legal.
yeah.
So now y'all saying he can't get in the Hall of Fame because of that. You got guys, of course, Darren Peterson shouldn't get in. Not Darren Peterson. I'm sorry, Darren Sharper, because of course it's off the field shit. He should never get into the Hall of Fame. But he did have a Hall of Fame on the field career. Because what he did was after his playing days were over. Uh, I just don't. Antonio Brown will probably never sniff the Hall of Fame. We know that there was no more dominant receiver in the 2010s than Antonio Brown. He had a 6-year span. He probably had the best numbers of any wide receiver in NFL history. This guy has 6 seasons of 100 catches.
You think Antonio Brown's not going to make the Hall, Jody?
No, hell nah. Don't nobody like Antonio Brown. Don't nobody like Antonio Brown, bro. Antonio Brown is not getting into the Hall of Fame unless they do some situations where they find out this man has CTE, which I don't know if you can find out if you're alive and you have CTE. But if they can find a way to diagnose people with CTE, I think they owe him an apology, because if he has CTE, he's owed an apology. That means he's sick. You understand what I'm saying? But ain't nobody gonna let that man in. He rubbed too many. When you rub Tom Brady the wrong way, it ain't no fucking way they're gonna let Antonio Brown into the Hall of Fame.
I agree. I mean, he was talking about insinuating he smashed Tom Brady's old lady, which, we know now she's not afraid to do other men. And all that being said, I still think he'll make the Hall. I know it's kind of weird, all the stuff that's going on outside of football for him, but I just, maybe in my mind, I'm just thinking strictly football. I know you're saying it's more than just that, but if we'll go strictly football, this dude definitely deserves to get into the Hall.
But they're saying Donovan McNabb can't get into the Hall of Fame because what he did post-career at ESPN or whatever he did. So now they're saying that's the reason why he can't get into the Hall. So why is it different for Donovan McNabb, but then we're going to overlook all this other shit that everybody else done? We're just going to let Ben Roethlisberger get in because whatever McNabb did is not as egregious as what Big Ben did.
I don't know what McNabb did. I think people, maybe they don't think he's very approachable. I don't know what McNabb actually did. He didn't get any type of legal troubles or anything. I think people just say he's not very likable, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Real quick, Donald said Big Ben, Gronk, Adrian Peterson, Richard Sherman, Cam Newton, and Antonio Brown are all eligible next year. I think Ben and Gronk will be the only ones that get in that year, but I think Antonio Brown should. But I don't think he said, but I don't think ever get in because of the personal stuff. And my thing is, if you let Big Ben in, let's say want to put Big Ben and fucking Eli Manning in the same year, you can't keep making Eli Manning wait to get in the Hall of Fame, especially if you're making Big Ben a first ballot Hall of Famer. Because do we think that Big Ben is better than Eli Manning? Absolutely. I mean, on the field, Big Ben is a top 15 quarterback all time, maybe top 20 quarterback of all time. So if he's on that level, you got to put him in. But once again, it's not about what you did on the field. Because if that's the case, then why the fuck are we tormenting fucking Deshaun Watson? Why every time you look around, everybody calling him the freaky ass dude? Why are you calling him the 69 guy? You know what I'm saying? So why is it that we can overlook what Big Ben did and put him in the Hall of Fame, but we won't even let Deshaun Watson walk down the goddamn street?
Well, it's a social media age too. That Big Ben did those things way before social media as popular as it is now. If Big Ben did those things nowadays, we'll be roasting him on another level.
It wasn't that long ago. We act like Big Ben did shit. It wasn't even fucking 15 years ago that he did it.
But social media is and it's on a different level now than even it was 15 years ago. It's crazy the amount of people that have their own shows and podcasts, and they will be roasting a star level quarterback that got accused of something like that nowadays. He would be canceled for sure.
Yeah. Kathy said, "You're right, Tom. Cheater." She said Tom Brady's a cheater. She said, "I don't know if y'all all Jim McMahon is suffering from dementia." He got slammed on the head. I met him in Canton last year. Real cool dude. King Ming said, "Hell, nah, Antonio Brown isn't getting into the Hall." And then Donald said, "If I had a vote, I'm voting Eli Manning would never get in." Donald, you don't like image. Donald don't like winners. You don't like winners. I want winners. Can't win them. But that was our NFL segment. We'll be talking more about that. We're going to shift gears and go over to our college football because college football is right around the corner. We already seen the NFL started their preseason. NFL, we know they're king, but college football is right up there Ball is brought to you by our sponsor, Michael Wright, attorney at law. Any wrongful deaths, workman's compensation, personal injuries, just call Mike at 937-222-7477. Just call Mike. But let's get to some of these college. You excited? I know you're excited down there, man. I know you're excited about the preview of college football, man. What makes you the most excited right now? So talk to the people about what makes you excited about college football.
I love college football because I know the players are still getting paid like pros now, but it still seems more pure, organic college football does because of the fan bases, man. It's like every game is so much energy when you're watching the game because the tradition of all these great college teams. I love college football. Honestly, I like college football more than I do the NFL. I mean, I'm a big football fan, period, but college football is where it's at, man. I love the rivalries, the real rivalries in college football. NFL, some of them are kind of made up. I mean, you like them, you hate them, whatever. But and you got to think of the areas for college football. You know, Ohio State, a lot of players are from that area, Texas, and things of that nature. It makes it more organic. So I love college football. I can't wait till it starts up in a couple weeks.
I'm a huge NFL guy. I do like NFL more than I like college football, but I do love college football. I mean,
Yeah.
but the NFL to me, NFL reigns supreme. I just love it. But college football is a fantastic situation. I would
Oh
love
yeah.
college football more if they did it the way I thought they should do it. Like I said, I believe that all these weak ass cupcakes, they need to take all those weak ass cupcakes off of everybody's schedule. And they need to make their schedule yearly, just like the NFL makes their schedule. Remember, I said that. I believe that the college football, they should have, okay, if you win the Big Ten, you play the winner of the SEC and you do a round robin. So, okay, if you win the Big Ten this year, you got to play the winner of the Big 12. You win the ACC, you got to play the winner of the SEC. I think that they should do that. And then if you come in second place, it should be like, you know how they got the basketball where they got the Big Ten ACC challenge every year? I think
Yeah.
they should do that every year, and you just change conferences. So first year is the Big Ten versus the SEC. The next year is the Big Ten versus the ACC, and et cetera, et cetera. I think now you got four conferences. You can always do a round robin, and every year you change it according to where you finished the year before. Is who you play your first four non-conference games, or
Well,
maybe let's say two,
I
and you
like
put one cupcake on your schedule.
Jody, what I think college football has changed some is that we're adding more and more teams to this playoff scenario. Right now, there's 12, but it's going to go up to 16, 20, I guarantee you. So I think some of these teams might play a little tougher schedule because you're going to be allowed to have more losses. I mean, so, back in the past, Jody, sometimes, bro, you lose one game, you it's a wrap. So you lose two, it's definitely a wrap. So I think now, since they're adding more teams, you don't have to be undefeated or have one loss to have a chance at a championship. I think that's a good thing for college football.
I think I still saw. I just think it's bullshit. I think it's bullshit that we're doing it. I think it's bullshit that these guys can play weaker schedules, and like you said, you lose one game, you're out of it. I think that's what we're looking for. I know if you're the best and you go to Alabama, you go to Ohio State, you go to Texas, you should have to play the best. And I don't think that because I have a relationship. Let's say I'm Ohio State AD and you're the Texas AD. We got a relationship with one another, so we play each other because we got a relationship with one another. Why are they letting individual ADs make schedules? There should be a national AD that makes schedules for every Power Five conference. I think the other now, if you're in any other conference, then let them make their own schedule. But if you're in a Power Five conference, I believe, or Power Four conference now, I believe that it should be made by your schedule should be made like the NFL, bro.
But Jody, I agree with you because you're thinking strictly competition. But if you're thinking of an AD for the Big 12, for example, we're going to talk about them because their conference fucking sucks. Let's
Right.
just put it out there. Let's just say I'm Texas Tech. I know if I win the Big 12, I'm going to be in that 12-team tournament. So
Right.
why would I schedule these tough teams and fuck myself over by not making the tournament? But if I make a tough schedule, I'm not going to get in. But if I know I just have some cupcake teams and I just beat everybody in my conference, I'm guaranteed to get into the tournament. So why would I do that to myself?
But
Why?
the thing about it, so you can still win your conference and get in. You can go and play four tough games, lose all your non-conference, and win every game inside your conference, and you still get in the tournament. So what are we talking about?
But if I'm really not that good,
Then you don't deserve to be in a fucking tournament.
I'm with you, but I'm looking at big picture. If I'm a conference and I say, hey, look, man, I know my conference fucking sucks. But I'm the best team in this shitty. It's an NFC South. I'm sorry, Donald. This is an NFC South, and our division sucks. So, I'm the best. I'm the least suckiest team out of them. But one of our teams are going to make the tournament. So I want to be that team. So I'm not going to play Miami. I'm not going to play Ohio State. I'm not going to play Texas. It's going to make me look bad. So I'm gonna take the easy route and get myself to the tournament easier. That's how these conferences are looking at it.
That's the problem with today's society.
You
Everybody
damn
want to
right
take
it is,
it.
Jody.
Everybody want to take the
Jody,
easy fucking way out.
Jody, I'm 100% with you, brother. I want competition. I want everyone the best play the best, but that ain't what we doing. You know how it works, bro.
Yeah, I see that. Hey, Kathy said, "What makes me upset about Robert? The happy ending crab don't get the same energy." That's very true. He got worse allegations than Deshaun Watson. We let him get on roast, and Tom Brady get up there and basically about to cuss a motherfucker out if you say something about Bob Kraft. Y'all ain't cussing nobody out to say something about Deshaun Watson. Y'all,
We talked about it, Joe, because they don't have bosses. Owners don't
yeah,
have bosses. They do what the
we
fuck they
we
want.
we encourage people to talk about Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
Real quick, what's up, Fair with the Hour Take? That's another very, very intriguing podcast. If you're not following, you need to follow because it's outstanding. I'm a fan, definitely a fan. If I'm a fan, you should be a fan too. Hour Take, Fair doing her thing. Appreciate you, sweetie. Kathy said, Jody, that's a great idea. Yeah, I normally come up with some good ideas. So every now and again, I come up with a good idea. I don't know. But so let's talk about some of these opening weekend games that we got coming up. And this is one of the more intriguing games because when the poll came out, both of these teams are ranked in the top 25. And we got Boise State playing Oregon. And we know that Boise State and Oregon is normally some fireworks. Just ask LeGarrette Blunt if fireworks. Did I say that? Y'all forgot about LeGarrette Blunt laying somebody out after the game for Boise State.
Hit him with the two piece.
Boy, he hit him with the extra crispy. He hit the bro. I don't think that was cool, but I don't know what dude said to him. I don't know what dude. Sometimes you can't listen, man. Y'all keep running y'all mouth, and y'all mouth can't cash that check, and he cashed it for you. But anyway, that was a long time ago. LeGarrette Blunt, man, was an outstanding running back for Oregon. But talk to me about this game right here. Two top 25 teams. It's kind of a test. It's an early season test. I don't look at this as being a cupcake for Oregon. But what do you think about Dante Moore is back at the quarterback position? They got a ton of talent. Brandon Finney Jr., I believe, is the best defensive back in the country. What you think? Do Boise State stand a chance against Oregon?
No, Oregon is one of the most talented teams in college football this year. They have a lot of returning players. The quarterback's back. That offense is going to be outstanding. The defense is going to be improved from last year. So Oregon is they're going to walk through Boise State. And Oregon only struggles against the elite teams, and Boise State ain't one of them. So Oregon, I think this is going to be an easy dub for them. They'll walk through them. They won't struggle until they start playing real football teams. No disrespect, Boise State, but you guys are not on that level yet.
I think this is a situation where if I'm Boise State, if you want to do with going with your logic, I wouldn't have played Oregon because I would have played somebody I could beat because we've seen the likes of James Madison and Tulane get into the tournament because they didn't really have to play anybody. And we know that Boise State I don't know if they're officially they're in the Pac-12 yet. I'm not sure if they're officially in the Pac-12. But Boise State hardest game was probably going to be like a UNLV team or Air Force or something like that. So my thing is Oregon, it's going to be a pretty much easy game. Oregon can pad their resume a little bit saying we played a top 25 team early on in the conference so people won't say we played a whole bunch of cupcakes. But we know far and away that Oregon is way more talented than Boise State. Whether on paper, they know they got a quarterback that can potentially go in the top 5 or even win the Heisman, and Dante Moore.
Yeah.
Brandon Finney Jr. is one of the best cornerbacks. Ugalea is one of the best edge rushers in the country. Yeah, I think it's going to be a bloodbath in Eugene. I think they win like 45 to like 17. I don't think Boise State is even going to come close in that game.
No, this going to get out of hand. Oregon. I don't want to say they're legit, Jody, because we all know how they struggle when it comes to big games. But I don't see them having a problem with Boise State.
They did win a playoff game. We got to give credit when credit due.
Who did they beat, Jody?
They beat Texas Tech.
Oh.
I'm just saying. I understand your sentiments, but we got to give credit when credit due. They actually did win a playoff game. We can't keep saying they can't win big games when you win a playoff game. I think a playoff game is a big game, right?
I agree, but I mean against one of the big dogs. Texas Tech is good at ladies softball. That's what they're.
But hold on. Didn't they win 2? Didn't Oregon win 2 playoff games? Because
I don't know, Jody.
Yeah, they beat James Madison. Then they beat Texas
James
Tech.
Madison is online college.
I get it. It might be, but we can't take away that Oregon won 2 playoff games. This is a system that they made. We can't say that it's not a big game because we don't want it to be a big game.
Fix it, bro.
Bro, you already know how I feel. You're right. None of them teams should have deserved to be in there. They had the 12 best fucking teams at the end of the season, and that's what I thought we were going to get. And Tulane and James Madison definitely wasn't two of the best 12
sir.
teams.
No, sir, not at all. Texas
This
should have
is
been in there, and other teams. Don't get me started
bro,
on that.
you telling me I would have took a BYU and Notre Dame over both of them teams any day.
Yeah.
But that's I think that our only ranked matchup of the weekend. But we got another very intriguing game. That's going to be. I can't wait for this game. So I can't wait for this game because it's supposed to be a lot of new moving parts for both teams. We got Clemson in their annual game against LSU. Now LSU has a new head coach, of course, new quarterback, good offensive lineman. Clemson not being ranked for the first time in I don't know how long. What do you like about this game and who wins?
This is a neutral site game. Am I right, Jody?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
I'm going LSU. I know you like Dabo. I know you still think he's.
I don't like Dabo.
No, I'm saying you still think he's a good coach. Is what I'm saying. And I think the game is passing by. I don't think he can do it anymore. And the new hotness is LSU and Lane Kiffin. And I think LSU going to come out firing in this first game. And I think they're going to beat Clemson by 2 touchdowns.
I'm gonna go against the grain. I think this is a game that LSU loses. I think that they still trying to put everything together. I think with Sam Levitt, the quarterback coming from Arizona State, who I think could be a little bit overrated. I think he had a good year a couple years ago at Arizona State, but that was Arizona State, and they did have Cam Scatterbull, who was the guy that was really carrying that offense. If we want to be honest. I think Sam Levitt has a lot to prove. I think he can play the quarterback position, but is yet to be determined. We know that LSU has great success with transfer quarterbacks. This is Joe Burrow. But I think that Clemson is bringing back a lot of starters. They had a lot of guys go pro, but they had a lot of 5-star guys. Clemson don't lose a lot of guys to the transfer portal. That's one thing I want to give Dabo Swinney a lot of credit for. He didn't get a lot of guys in the transfer portal, but he didn't lose a lot of guys in the transfer portal. I think they'll be just fine. So I do have Clemson winning this game against LSU.
I'm looking forward to it. I don't like either one of these schools, but I just want to be entertained. When I don't really have a dog in the fight, just entertain me, baby. And I'm looking forward to a good football game between these two schools.
Okay, we got another matchup. Oh, I'm sorry. This is another game of 2 ranked opponents because Louisville is ranked. I do apologize.
Wow.
And Ole Miss is ranked. This is a game. It's a good early season game, a good test for both of these teams. Louisville is supposed to be the upstart team in the ACC, and we know Ole Miss got a new head coach, but they got 2 potential Heisman Trophy candidates in Trinidad Chamberlain and Keywan Lacey, 2 guys that can really put up a lot of points with that Ole Miss offense. Who you like in this game?
I'm going to Ole Miss. Like I said before when we talked a few weeks ago, Joe, that Ole Miss is, to me, in their preseason ranking, I think they're ranked a little bit too low. I think they can be very scary in that SEC if they can just build off of what they had last year. Like you said, they got their returning quarterback and running back. If their defense plays just a smidget better, Ole Miss can be very scary in the SEC this year. Not only that, but college football period. So y'all got Ole Miss winning this one.
Okay. Kathy says she's gonna go with Clemson. I think I'm going Ole Misses too. I think Louisville only loses about 3 games, but this is gonna be one of the 3 games that they lose. Ole Miss is on a mission. I kind of got them as a team that can potentially be a dark horse in the SEC and potentially win the SEC because I think that Texas, everybody got Texas, Georgia as the hot tickets in the SEC. I think Ole Miss can sneak up there. When you got a good quarterback and you got a running back that can take the pressure off of the quarterback, I think both of those guys are gonna probably take each other's votes for the Heisman because they're on the same team.
Yeah.
But I like Ole Miss, man. You're right. If the defense can stand up a little bit, all they got to do is hold teams to 25 points. I think that offense is going to score 30, 35 to 37 points a game. That's going to be enough. If the defense can hold teams about 24, 25 points a game, which that makes them probably top 75 in the country, I think they'll be just fine on that.
Yeah, I agree.
And then last but not least on this opening weekend, we got a ACC battle between SMU, who is ranked, and FSU, who we're used to seeing being ranked. But FSU just ain't been the same FSU since Jameis Winston left, man. So talk to me about this game. Who wins this game, SMU or Florida State?
Last year, we thought Florida State was back, Jody. I think they started hot. But, boy, just like the stock market, they took a dive right after that. I think that Florida State going to regret not hiring Coach Prime years ago when they could have hired him. I think he could have got that team back to his glory days. Anyway, all that being said, I'm going to go SMU Mustangs. Imagine I'm picking a team out of Texas to beat a Florida team. Can you imagine that, Jody?
That's crazy.
The Mustangs to get the victory.
That's crazy work, but I don't necessarily think that now I'm looking back at it. I think they made a good decision by not hiring Coach Pro. I'm gonna be honest with you.
You think so?
I think they made a good decision because I think Coach Prime, like I said, he's a rah rah guy. Now, would they had got some recruits in there? Yeah, but if he didn't get the right offensive coordinator, right defensive coordinator, or he could have even got an assistant coach to him that actually can call the plays or run the team.
Yeah.
I still think Dion is he's so talented. He's one of those guys that feel like everybody should be on his level, and they're really not. So anyway, in this game, I got Florida State in this game. I think Florida State is at home. I'm not really completely sold on SMU, even though I like Jennings at the quarterback position. I just think Florida State is still Florida State, and SMU is still like a little brother to Florida State in the ACC until otherwise proven. So I like Florida State in this game. Kathy says she's going Louisville with the upset of that last game.
You're wrong, Kathy.
But then let's get into the next weekend's games, and then we'll get we got three major games that's gonna be in week 2 of the season. And we'll talk about them, and then we'll get you guys out of here. She said she got Florida State as well. Let's go with the game that's not as marquee. In week 2, we got Arizona State, who is ranked, going against a Texas A&M team who we know got Marcel Reed at the quarterback position. Everybody was, well, I was feeling like he could be the Heisman Trophy candidate until he started throwing interceptions in the red zone, which I believe lost a lot of games. Lost the game against Miami in the playoffs where he threw an interception in the red zone where he had opportunity to win that game. Who you like in this one between Texas A&M and Arizona State?
I'm going another Texas school in this one, the Arizona State. I think it's going to be on the road. It's
What?
difficult to win in College Station. And like you said, the quarterback has something to prove. He's going to play with a chip on his shoulder this year. He struggled, like you said, in the red zone. So if he wants to make the NFL, he's going to have to get that under control. But I think they'll be just fine this early in the season. I'm going to Aggies to get the victory.
What you pick?
Can you imagine that?
You pick what? You pick a Texas team?
What the hell's going on?
But I'm gonna agree with you too. I think Texas A&M, they're a team that everybody's kind of looking over. Even last year, they lost to a very good team in the playoffs to the Miami Hurricanes. They were all the way up until they played against Texas. They could have won the SEC, but they ran into a Texas. They ran into a Texas team who always treat them like their little brother. But Arizona State got a lot to prove for me out there. I think they still can be competitive in the Big 12, but I just don't think that they're going to compete with the SEC school. I think they still don't have the physicality out there, Arizona State, to compete with Texas A&M. No disrespect, Arizona State has been producing some good players of late. Some of them transferred, Jaden Daniels and Ricky Purcells and guys like that. But they did produce Brandon Ayuk, who's going crazy. He may have CTE. Get him checked too. But anyway, uh, Texas A&M wins this game. Okay, we got what time is it? So
it's 11:33, and the Sooners still suck.
Speaking of the Sooners, they play against a team that I don't like from up north. We got Oklahoma again playing Michigan. Last year, Oklahoma handled Michigan rather easily. The defense prevailed in that game. They're saying Oklahoma's defense is better this year than it was last year. Uh, who you got in this game right here?
We should go ahead and skip your pick because we already know you wouldn't pick Michigan to win the cornhole tournament. So I'm going Michigan to get revenge from last year's tough loss in Oklahoma. Michigan's playing at home. I'm still worried about their quarterback. I don't know which version of him we're going to get. You got a new head coach. But I do think that Michigan defense is going to show up. So I got Michigan winning at home.
What? You went against Michigan? You went against Oklahoma? What?
Woo! Now, who you going to pick, nigga? You know who
Nigga, I'm going Oklahoma. Oklahoma wins this game.
Yeah.
Oklahoma wins this game, but it's not for the reasons you think. I think that Mateer played relatively decent against Michigan. Michigan lost a lot of pieces. They got a new head coach. We're still trying to see what Bryce Underwood is going to be. They got to help. Yeah. Now their running back room is crazy. Jordan Marshall, they got the kid hitter, the one of the best running backs in the country. So they got a 1-2 punch up there in Michigan. Their offensive line is really, really good. Their defense is going to be decent, but I think under new management with a new head coach out of Utah, he come with a whole different new philosophy. So I wonder if it's a run first offense and play great defense. But Oklahoma has one of the better defenses in the country again. So I like Oklahoma to call turnovers, even when they go up to the big house. I like Oklahoma to win this game. It has nothing to do with my dislike for the team up north.
Yeah, right.
I'm in the media. I got
shit.
I'm in the media. I gotta call it how I see it, and how I see it is Oklahoma wins this game back to back seasons. Michigan's been struggling with SEC teams when it comes to Oklahoma and Texas. They lost to Texas in the bowl game. They lost to Oklahoma last year. So let's see if they can get some revenge. But I think Oklahoma definitely wins this game. Real quick, uh, what we got here? As soon as we real quick, I don't know what's going on. I hate when the internet start running slow. I can't wait till our internet is at a pace where I ain't got to do 150 things at one time. I can't even get the screen to pop back up because they do what they want to do. Uh, but last but not least, man, we got this game right here. We got the Ohio State Buckeyes against the Texas Longhorns. We know we got number one against number five. We're in Austin. This is a revenge game, of course, for Texas. Ohio State want to prove that they're one of the better teams in the country because everybody got Ohio State losing 2 and 3 games. They haven't lost two or more games, and I want to say 10 to 15 years. So, no, I'm, about 10 years. I ain't going to be 15. But talk to me. So, and as an analyst, not as a fan, talk to me as an analyst. Who wins this game? Ohio State or
Didn't you
Texas?
guys lose 2 games when you won the championship a few years ago? The 2 or 3 games you lost that
I
year.
only lost two. That's when they haven't lost more than 2 games in like 10
Oh,
years.
well, you're gonna lose this one. It's gonna be a good football game. I guarantee you that because both teams got gonna be playing with a chip. Because everyone thinks Ohio State's not gonna be what they were the last couple of years, but they're gonna show up. Their defense is elite. Ohio State defense is nasty. Texas defense. I'm a little nervous about their linebacker play. For the most part, I like their pass rush and I like their secondary. But the linebackers make me a little bit nervous in this game. But I do like. I think quarterback battle. I think Texas quarterback is gonna have something to prove. Arch Manning really played 3 terrible quarters against Ohio State last time he played them. He didn't show up to the fourth quarter when the game was pretty much already over. But I think this time he's coming in with a different swag. He played some good football down the stretch last year. But Ohio State's Ohio State. They're gonna show up. Well, can they battle the Texas Heat? We're gonna see. It's gonna be 115 degrees on the field. I was gonna go, Jody, but the tickets are like $2,000 to sit
Wow.
in good seats. So it wouldn't be so bad, Jody, if I only had to buy one ticket. If I got to buy my son a ticket, that's not happening. So I'm going to be watching it at home and rooting my Longhorns on. And I think Longhorns will take care of business, get a little revenge from the Ohio State. See, that wasn't too biased, was it?
No, I can live with that. I
Okay.
mean, you got legitimate takes on there. Kathy said Arizona. She'll take Arizona. She will never pick a team from Texas unless I have to. She said Oklahoma. She refused to
Kathy,
pick.
what's wrong?
I don't know. She said she refused to pick Michigan. She's going to go Oklahoma, and she said the Ohio State Buckeyes over Texas. In this game right here, I'm gonna be an analyst first. I'm really scared for the Ohio State Buckeyes going down in that because they won 14-7, and if it wasn't for some erratic throws from Arch Manning last year, I think Texas beats them. I'm gonna be real. It was some wide open throws that Arch Manning just was showing his first year starter jitters against a very good team and playing in the shoe. So my thing is, does he make these same mistakes this year with a less talented defense, without Caleb Downs, without Arvell Reese, without McDonald in the middle? We're talking about a team that lost a ton of talent on that defensive side of the ball. But this is why I say Ohio State wins this game. It ain't got nothing to do with Jeremiah Smith and Jalen and Bo Jackson and Julian Sands. It has everything to do with, I believe, Ohio State will be able to stop y'all running attack. I know y'all going with the kid Hollywood out of North Carolina State,
Yeah.
but that's where y'all struggled at, was being able to push the pal to run the football. I don't know if y'all fixed that, and I don't think y'all fixed it yet. I think by week 5 and 6, I think you will see when y'all play Oklahoma. But I don't think that it happens against Ohio State early on. We know defenses are normally ahead of offenses. And I don't think Arch Manning is good enough right now to win a one-dimensional game against a top 5 team in the country. That's the only reason that I say Ohio State wins this game. I think Arch Manning is going to play decent, but I don't think they'll be able to run the ball. And I don't care how good you are. I don't care if you're Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes. If you can't run the ball against an elite caliber team, you're going to lose a game. I think the game is going to be a 17-13 victory for the Ohio State Buckeyes on the road. Both teams are going to look horrible like they did last year. Both teams are going to look bad. Both defenses are going to look good. I think Colin Simmons for you guys are going to rack up a sack or two, just as long as it's not a strip force fumble. And I think that's the level. I think both teams are not going to turn the ball over. Like in that game, what was the difference? That interception that Arch Manning threw, that was a difference in that game. I think that Ohio State, Julian Sain doesn't throw a lot of interceptions. I don't think Ohio State gonna move the ball that much either. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think Bo Jackson or Jeremiah Smith gonna get off. but I just think that their defense is going to stop y'all running game. And I think our offensive line, we got I think two or three starters from last year coming back, and that's going to be the advantage for Ohio State beating Texas. And I say it's going to be a 17-13 victory for the Ohio State Buckeyes on the road.
Joey, I agree with your take on the offensive line for Texas. That was definitely the weakness of the team last year. The running game was horrific. Only time they ran the ball good was against bad teams. So that's one of my fears, that offensive line is not as up to par. That didn't help Arch Manning at all last year. They couldn't block anything last year. They couldn't block their way out of a wet paper sack. So hopefully this year they play a little bit better, and the running game is better. Like you're right, you got to be more balanced. You're going to beat a good team like Ohio State. I 100% agree with you.
Yeah,
so see how we can pick different teams and be civil here. You like?
Yeah, and my thing is we can be civil because we actually gave a non-emotional take. You know what I'm saying? Like
now, game day might be different, but
now different. I'm gonna be like, hell no, fuck Texas. Because on game day, I'm gonna be more of a fan. I'm being an analyst, and I'm trying to give people what they came here for is to get the analysis. So when they get on FanDuel or they get on DraftKings, they like, okay, what did Against the Grain Sports say when I picked this team? Because they looking at making some goddamn money.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So
bottom line, you're right about that, brother.
Hey, ads. We were looking for ads for Against the Grain Sports. So hey, underdog, FanDuel, DraftKings, come on, give us some money. We'll talk about y'all betting lines. I know that's what the bottom line is y'all want some betting lines. If you want to get that, come on over to Against the Grain Sports.
We are open for business.
We are definitely open for business. But hey, man, another great show, man. Another great show. We'll be back on Monday, and then once after I think we get to September, we back at 4 to 5 shows a week.
Yes, sir.
So, hey, give me your final take as we get out of here.
Final take. This is about the LA Clippers and Kawhi Leonard drama. Apparently, it's coming to a head, and they are really about to lay the hammer down on the Clippers and Kawhi Leonard for this scandal, paying him under the table, making up different businesses to pay this guy above salary cap money. Apparently, they have a history, Kawhi Leonard and his uncle, who was his agent, which he fired recently, of asking teams for things that you're not supposed to be asking for. Apparently, when they want them to go to the Lakers, he asked the Lakers ownership, yeah, can you just buy us a condo and this? And they said, no, we can't do that. We can just offer you a salary. All this shit got out. And now this scandal with the Clippers is out. My question is, Jody, what do they do? Does the NBA lay the hammer down on the Clippers? Because money doesn't mean anything. We're talking about one of the richest owners in all the sports. So giving him a fine means nothing. They're going to have to take around multiple draft picks away from the Clippers to make them suffer. And do they also make Kawhi Leonard? Does that void this Toronto trade? Right. If it doesn't void him, does he go to Toronto and still be suspended 25 to 30 games? Only thing that Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers have on their side is that David Stern is not alive. If David Stern was still the commissioner, I guarantee you it'd be minimum 50 games suspension for both organizations.
Hey, keep talking. I'll be right back.
All right. Yeah, this drama, man, with the Clippers and Kawhi Leonard, it's crazy for you to make up a business. Why not just pay the man under the table instead of create some business having commercials as if this shit's real to get away from the salary cap? Why not just create a separate account and just pay that man the money instead of they're having this money trail that someone found out about and now they're up shit's creek without a back paddle? I don't know. We're going to be interested to see. The Clippers are still the Clippers. They're still going to suck. They're still not going to be good with or without this fine. I understand why they did it, but they did it for Kawhi Leonard, which they didn't help the team at all. They didn't win shit when Kawhi Leonard was there, so now they're going to suffer from that losing. At least they could have won a championship behind that or get to the conference championship with Kawhi Leonard, but all they did was a lot of not playing basketball games and losing like the Clippers always do. They got a new stadium, though. But no real playoff wins.
Yeah, we're going to definitely talk about this in more detail.
Yes, sir.
I like that take on that. But remember I made a take on the Clippers? The Clippers, once again, getting in their own way. The Clippers are the Clippers, bro. The Clippers should be, I told you, teams that don't need to be in the league. The Clippers are one of them. The Sacramento Kings is another. I told you, these teams don't need to exist. So I get what you're saying. This is just typical Clippers shit. Just typical Clipper shit. Hey, my final take is this. It's funny, over with the Vegas Raiders, they're fighting each other over there. We got Kirk Cousins fighting Max Crosby. I think they fighting to see who was gonna get hurt first. I think who's gonna go out with a season-ending injury first. They're fighting each other. I don't understand why a defensive end is even fighting with a quarterback because you can't even touch the quarterback in during during practice. They got the red shirts on, and I believe Kirk Cousins will go into the season as a starter.
Yeah.
Max Crosby, I don't know if Max Crosby is going to continue to be a Raider, not because of the fight, but I think that he's the outcast. He already know he was supposed to be a Raven. So the organization's already telling you we wasn't 100% in on you if you were willing to trade me. I think that Max Crosby may not be a Raider by the trade deadline. I think that it's going to be a team like a Green Bay Packer team that might be playing well, or a Philadelphia Eagles. We know Philadelphia is very aggressive when they want to win a championship, or even the Rams. I know they already got Mal Garrett. The Rams don't
Don't
they
say that.
don't they don't spare any expense on winning. So my thing is, don't be surprised if Max Crosby is not on the Raiders roster come trade deadline. And I don't think it got nothing to do with this fight. I just think that Max Crosby or 49er, I just don't know if he's going to be there by the trade deadline. That's my final take.
Jody, I agree with you, but I got two spots Max Crosby might get traded to before the training camp is even over. I can
Who's
see
that?
the Dallas Cowboys, who was rumored to get him already.
True.
Another team that really needs some pass rush, the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, that's very true. And they both these teams are trying to be competitive. And don't forget about the Detroit Lions.
Detroit Lions, yeah.
Detroit Lions. King Mink said, I hope you both lose, damn it. And don't get mad at me because your team playing the what's the four top division?
King Mix, yeah, King. We're accepting applications for bandwagon fans. I can fast track your application if you want to be a Longhorns fan. Just send me your application, and I know some people. I'll get you going on that bandwagon ASAP. I even get you. It comes with a free T-shirt.
And it comes with not winning big games either.
Fuck you, Jody.
Hey, once again, I'm your host, Jody, coming up Against the Grain Sports Podcast, Uncut, man. We doing my man, Jarrell Solo on Sports Glenn, all the way from San Antonio, Texas. We got my man, Ray, more than just a barber. Lindsay, he's working right now. That's why he's more than just a barber. We also got my nephew, Donald, the voice of the youth. We got Andrew mic'd up. And, of course, we can't do none of this without Jay Kane, the chef, cooking it up in the kitchen. And also my brother, Jason, the hefty lefty. He's out at a scrimmage with my nephew. He's a 6'8" defensive end. 6'8".
Julius Peppers or what?
Yo, listen, man. He might be the ticket out of here, man. Appreciate everybody out there joining with Against the Grain Sports. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, man. We trying to get the numbers. We got a lot of good things going on. We got a lot of people watching the show on a regular basis, man. Right now, we got a ton of people still watching. So, unfortunately, I gotta go. We gotta go. And so, what we gonna do until Monday, my boy?
We working, baby.
Hey, see y'all Monday. Peace.